In Egypt, when people think of Moses, they usually imagine the same scene. Moses throwing his staff to the ground and it turning into a serpent. But no matter how real it is, the inner sight of Pharaoh is not open. One morning in Egypt, people woke up to a terrible nightmare. The screams of women, men, and children were rising from the streets. Soldiers were brutally breaking down doors and entering houses, taking babies from their mothers' arms by force. The reason was the terrible dream Pharaoh had seen. The priests told him that a boy who would be born among the children of Israel would one day completely destroy his kingdom. Out of fear, Pharaoh ordered that all baby boys be killed. In those days, there was a mother, a compassionate mother, holding a tiny baby in her arms. That baby was Moses. Moses' mother was full of fear and did not know what to do. Then Allah inspired her. Breastfeed your child. When you fear for him, place him in the water. Do not be sad. We will surely return him to you. Trusting in Allah, the compassionate mother placed her baby in a small chest and set him on the Nile River. His sister Miriam was following her brother from a distance. The chest moved with the current and reached the place it was meant to go, Pharaoh's palace. The one who found the chest was Pharaoh's wife, Asiya. She had no children. When she saw the baby in the chest, her heart softened. She loved Moses very much and said to Pharaoh, "Let us not kill this child. Perhaps he may benefit us, or we may adopt him." The interesting part was this. Pharaoh had unknowingly taken the blessed child who would prepare his own downfall into his palace by his own will. But baby Moses kept crying and did not accept the milk of any woman. At that moment, Miriam appeared and said, "Shall I show you a family who can take care of this baby?" The person Miriam brought was baby Moses' own mother. Thus Moses was not killed. He reunited with his mother, and he began to grow up in the palace. Years passed one after another. Baby Moses grew up. His heart was always on the side of justice. One day, while walking in the city, he saw a man from the children of Israel fighting with an Egyptian. Unable to remain silent, he intervened to separate them and accidentally struck one of them. The man he struck died from the blow. Moses had not intended this. He was very frightened and asked Allah for forgiveness day and night. The incident became known, and Pharaoh's men wanted to capture Moses. A man who loved Moses secretly warned him, "Leave here immediately. They want to kill you." So Moses left Egypt and set out toward the desert. He walked for days and nights and finally arrived in Midian. At a well, he saw two sisters trying to water their animals, and he helped them. Their father was an elderly prophet, Shuaib. Moses stayed with them for a long time, worked there, and eventually married one of the daughters. Years later, while Moses was traveling with his family one night, he saw a fire in the distance. When he approached the fire, he experienced the greatest moment of his life. Allah spoke to him, and that night Moses was given prophethood. Allah gave him two miracles. When he threw his staff to the ground, it turned into a great serpent, and when he put his hand inside his cloak and took it out, it shone with a bright white light. Now Moses' mission had become clear. He would go to Pharaoh and call him to believe in Allah. His brother Aaron would help him. Years later, Moses returned to Egypt and stood before Pharaoh. Pharaoh did not accept his words and called his magicians. A large crowd gathered in a great square. The magicians threw their ropes to the ground, and people saw them like snakes. Then Moses threw down his staff. It truly turned into a huge serpent and swallowed all the tricks of the magicians. At that moment, the magicians understood that this was not magic. They realized that it was a miracle from Allah, and they immediately believed. Thus, the great struggle between Moses and Pharaoh had begun.